Son was sick over the weekend. I brought him to the doctor and he is on breathing treatments. How is he feeling now? He's feeling so much better. He has had 3 treatments so far and it's made a big difference. The doctor didn't think he had COVID and said they wouldn't test him unless he showed more symptoms. Is he awake? I'd love to speak to him. No, he's still asleep. He was up coughing all night. Okay, I have been reviewing therapists and think I may have found one that I agree to. I just need a few more days to look into it. Are they on the approved list the judge gave us? No, but they are exactly who Son needs. I will give you the information so you can look into them. Now that we are 50-50ths, we need to figure out how to properly communicate with each other. It has to be a give and take. Mia tested positive for COVID this morning. We will all be home for the next 5 days in quarantine. What about Son? They didn't test him, but they said to keep him in quarantine as well. She does not need to be around him. Can't she go stay with her parents or something? No, that would be dangerous since they are elderly. Well, he does not need to be around her for at least 5 days. He doesn't need to be exposed to her. He's been around her for the past few days. We had no idea she had it, but he's already been exposed. Nothing we can do to change that now. I don't care. I don't want him around her. Don't you agree he shouldn't be around someone who tests positive? Then he may need to come to your house. He hasn't been tested, but that is up to you. You need to get him tested before he comes home. I can take him to get tested in the morning. Okay, but then she needs to leave for the night. She can't stay in her car or somewhere else. No, she can stay here. He's already been exposed to her. But he will still be around her and that's no good. You need to be more responsible about this. This isn't safe. He can't stay there in a COVID house. He will stay with me. I'm negative. She will be quarantined in our bedroom for the next 5 days. She needs to immediately stay away from him. No contact. This is so dangerous, Marcus. How can you not put value on our child's safety? If she cared about him, she would leave willingly. She has not been near him since we found out. I don't care that she is in another room. COVID is in the air in your house. He is too young to be breathing in COVID air. This is unacceptable. This is exactly why you shouldn't. Son is negative, but he may not test positive for a few days. He is in trouble right now, though. He said he already spoke to you about it when you called him this morning. Yes, he said you guys got a new puppy the other day and you won't let him play with the puppy and he's mad at you. Why wouldn't you let him play with the puppy? He was holding the puppy by the throat and got mad when we made him let the dog go. He was probably just trying to give it a hug. He's little. You don't need to be so harsh. He is not a baby. He is more than old enough to know that is not how you hold a puppy. I am just informing you that there was a situation. This is why we need to get him into therapy immediately. I am so tired of fighting with you about Son. I'm not sure why you have to be so hateful all of the time. I don't understand why you need to always act like this. Son absolutely loves his new school. You should have never kept him from this. His teachers think he is an absolute delight. He is blossoming so well. Honestly, think about all of the trauma that could have been avoided if he started in a school like this and not in a public school. You did him a disservice by fighting against me. Son's teacher has my contact information and emails me any updates or concerns that arise during the school day. I am well aware that he has had a rough week. Please do not lie to me in an attempt to act like nothing is wrong. He had yellow days, not red. That's totally fine. He just needs time to adjust to the new school. He wouldn't have a problem if there weren't so many changes happening all at once. And wow, thanks for being sneaky and going behind my back to speak to the teacher. We are supposed to be a united front. Son has struggled very badly during this school week. I know it is only his second week, but he had all red days. His teacher said he was screaming, hitting kids, and being extremely disrespectful. I am not surprised. This isn't normal. Send me the contact information for the therapist you were looking into. He needs to start immediately, and at this point, I don't care where he starts at. You do realize this is all your fault. He never acts like this during my time. This is your first full school week with him, and he acts out. But you just had to insist on trying to take my baby away from me. If you would have just left well enough alone, he would be fine. Send me the contact information, or I will choose by myself. Asterisk sends a Google search titled Christian therapists near me with 6 different options. Asterisk. Which one is the one you were referring to? It doesn't matter to me as long as they are a Christian-based therapist. So you haven't been researching and looking into therapists like you've been claiming you were this entire time. Clearly I have. I've looked up Christian therapy. Now you can choose. I've given you a month to actually research, so you would be involved in this. A month. Clearly you don't actually care. So I am going to choose on my own. I will let you know who I choose and when his appointment is scheduled for. Like I said, just choose one of this list. You know nothing about any of these people besides they claim to be Christian. I will research and find a therapist who will be the best fit for Sun. It is extremely upsetting you couldn't put in the effort to actually find a good therapist for our child. You can't do that. I can. That is why the judge granted me final decision making. I have given you more than enough time to participate in finding a therapist, and I will not wait any longer. That's not what that means at all. You don't get to just do whatever you want. I'm not arguing about this with you. I will inform you when I make a decision. He's only ever bad when he's with you. That's so sad. He has been so traumatized by his own father that he acts out every time he is with you. You have caused every issue that Sun has in his life. You abandoned us. You started a new life with Mia. You have exposed him to bad language and encouraged him to behave badly. And now look at the result. If you had any decency, you would have left things how they were and let him stay with me. He wants to stay with me. He is happy here and clearly he will act out until he is home with me. This is the therapist I have chosen to go with for Sun. His contact information is here if you would like to reach out and ask any questions you may have for him. No, I sent you the ones I would be okay with, and I will only agree to one of those. You do not need to agree. I have final decision making. Sun is struggling and you are not doing your part, so I will do what I need to do. He's only struggling because you ripped him from me. Don't forget that. If you would just let him stay where he is happy and comfortable, none of this would be an issue. He left my time on green days at school. The entire week he was with you, he was on red. The teacher is very concerned as well. I am meeting the therapist one-on-one tomorrow if you would like to join us. No, maybe that can be a therapist for you, but it won't be Sun's. I promise you that. It's nice to meet you, Marcus. Thank you for coming in without Sun so we can talk about what is going on and I can gain some background information. Can you tell me what's going on? Of course. Thank you for taking Sun on as a patient so quickly. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. So Sun has not had it easy in life. He was born in full addiction from his biological mother and had to withdraw in the NICU. His mother and I adopted him from the hospital and brought him home with us. But we were warned by the doctors that there was a high possibility that Sun would struggle with emotional and behavioral issues due to the circumstances of his birth. It seemed to escalate after my ex and I separated and has only begun to get worse. He is angry, lashes out at others, hurts himself and others. Normal discipline or parenting isn't helping. I see. Is there a reason that he hasn't already started in therapy? Originally, it seemed like he was just dealing with normal childhood behaviors, nothing too extreme, and we didn't think that therapy was necessary after the separation. When things started getting worse, I only had him every other weekend. His mom was very resistant to putting him in therapy and then would only agree to a faith-based program. She sent me a list of therapists she approved of, and a majority of them didn't even work with children. Now that I have 50/50ths and final decision-making, I am putting him where I think is best. I wish I could have done this sooner, but at least it is happening now. Okay, I would love to have her come in or at least call to tell me her side of what she thinks is going on with son. I like to get both sides from the parents when there is a divorce.